All right, guys, so here's one you're probably going to want to pay attention to. Hopefully I can convey this to give you the most understanding. Very interesting topic. Been digging more into statuses and meanings of words and things, but this one particularly you might want to pay attention to. All right. So, just point blank, I was looking at the definition, and all of these definitions you can look for yourself, and you can find them at Black's Law Dictionary, free online legal dictionary, and it's the second edition, so it's a very early edition, which is probably better because, as you know, I strongly believe that most of the words we now use today have been adorned or turned and twisted for nefarious reasons. But anyways, moving on. Minor. I looked up the definition of minor. The question is, are we being considered minors today? Minor as in infant. So here's the definition. An infant or person who is under the age of legal competence. All right, a term derived from the civil law, which described a person under a certain age as less than so many years. Okay, it goes on to give more definition. One less than 25 years of age, and it says also less or of less consideration, lower, or a person of inferior condition. All right, so you can clearly see that minor does not exclusively pertain to the number of age that you are. It can also refer to someone who is not legally competent, and it can be an infant or a person. All right, in other research I've done, I think I've shown that the word person is another word which has been convoluted and misconstrued in light of the legal system. All right? Because person can mean a corporation. All right? Or an institution or something to that effect, a fictitious entity. It's not necessarily a people. A person is something entirely different in law. You might want to check that out. But anyways, that was the definition of minor, an infant or person who is under the age of legal competence. All right? Of inferior condition. All right? So then I went forward and looked at legally competent. What is it meant? What is meant by the term legally competent? So same dictionary, Black's Law Dictionary, the second edition, it says the term that means a person is fit and is qualified to serve in the capacity as an administrator or an executor. All right, so there you see again the word person, which remember could be a corporation as well, not a people per se, or a man or woman. All right. So again, the term, I want you to focus on that word term because that'll be the next word we look up. So I'm building a preponderance of evidence, a ladder of logic that you can follow, look up yourself, and believe it or disbelieve it. It's up to you. All right. But the term, this is legally competent. Okay. Remember, back at minor, it says an infant or person who is under the age of legal competence. So what is legal competence? It's a term that means a person is fit and is qualified to serve in the capacity as an administrator or an executor. And these are terms that pertain to estates. So handling your estate, an administrator of your estate or an executor of your estate that handles the function of that estate. Okay? So, remember I said focus on term. Now let's look at term. What does term mean? All right? Let me see here. Term. a compact, contrary to the common nature and reason of the fee put into a contract. Yeah. Did you catch that? All right. So first we looked at minor, which talked about legal competence. All right. They're under the age of legal competence. Then we looked at legal competence, and that's a term that means a person is fit and is qualified. All right. And then we looked up term, which is a compact contrary to the common nature and reason of the fee put into a contract. So, in other words, it's saying that it's something put into an agreement that is contrary to the regular or normal reason for what's being discussed or considered in that contract. Okay? So that's what legal competency is. Okay? And a minor does not have legal competence. In other words, if you take on the designation of a minor, they're saying A, that you're not legally competent, B, that term legally competent means that whether or not it has to do with whether or not a person is fit or qualified to handle his affairs as an administrator or executive. And then term means a compact contrary to the common nature or the regular understanding pertaining to the contract. So it's contrary to nature, contrary to natural. Okay? And now a compact. What is a compact? A compact is an agreement or contract usually applied to conventions between nations or sovereign states. A compact is a mutual consent of parties concerned respecting some property or right that is the object of the stipulation. So there, that stipulation is like an agreement or a contract, all right? And it's saying a compact has to do with mutual consent, okay, between the parties, between the parties concerned. And it has everything to do with property or rights. I hope you're gathering this. I hope you're understanding it better than I may be conveying it. But I just want to bring this home. I think we need to look deeper at this and really find out if we are considered minors. Are we legally competent? Is this what's happening when you go into the courtroom and the judge says, well, would you like an attorney or a lawyer? Because there may be a question of competency. You're not legally competent. And if you're not legally competent, you fit the designation of a minor or an infant who is under the age of legal competence. All right? Which is a term or a contract, okay, that is contrary to common nature. Got it? That's what legally competent is. All right? An agreement contrary to nature. All right? And I think I put us right where we need to be. Now, this all leads me to the term legal name. All right? What is a legal name then? It says the term, there's that word, term. that is given to your first name and your last name. Again, this is Black's Law Dictionary, the second edition. You can see this online. All right? Black's Law. It's pretty much the legal authority of dictionaries. So if you have a legal name, make sure you check out the recording I did on the Social Security application, which talked about I did an actual series. I think I'm on part 4. I got 5 and 6 coming, and perhaps 7 and probably 8. But if you look at that very first one, it's talking about the Social Security application, the SS5 form. And it's talking about the legal name being put on that Social Security card. And it says that in order to be eligible for that Social Security card, that you have to supply proof of your identity, which we established in that recording as sameness. Identity means sameness as, okay? So they're saying you have to provide evidence or proof, all right, of your identity in the legal name. So what is the legal name? Well, here, according to Black's Law Dictionary, second edition, it says the legal name is a term that is given to your first name and your last name. So if something is given to your first name and your last name, then that means that it's something outside of your first name and your last name. Okay? So a legal name, again, is a term that is given to your first name and your last name. Wait, what is term? A compact contrary to the common nature and reason put into a contract. So that kind of goes hand in hand with what it's saying. Because it's a compact contrary to the common nature or your common name, your natural name. It's a contract that is given to your common name, your natural name, which is, like it says, your first name and your last name. So if you took on a legal name, you basically made a contract, okay, that's contrary to your common nature, your common name. Do you get it? I hope so, because I think we're in a little bit of trouble for those who don't research. And as the scripture says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And one last thing, what is a legal entity then? You got a legal name. What is a legal entity? A lawful or legally standing association, corporation, partnership, proprietorship, trust, or individual. These are what a legal entity are, guys. It has a legal capacity to enter into agreements or contracts. There's that contract. So if you're a legal entity, then you would take on a legal name, which is entering into a contract that is contrary to your natural name. Okay? And 2, it assumes obligations. 3, it incurs and pays debts. Do you do all of these things? Number 4, it sues and it can be sued in its own right. And number 5, to be accountable for illegal activities. I don't know about you, but all 5 of these pertain to us, or has pertained to us. I've entered into contracts and agreements. I've assumed obligations. I've incurred payments and debts. Paid payments and debts. I've been sued and have sued someone else, and I've definitely been accountable for illegal activities. So that would make me a legal entity, which is a lawful or legally standing association, corporation, partnership, proprietorship, trust, or individual. We better rethink this. It's starting to make a lot of sense. Are you a minor? Well, according to these definitions in the Law Dictionary, we are. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for next time. And make sure that you go check out those other videos. Actually, I didn't do a face video. I did audio with a screen capture type deal. Perhaps I'll do some video later. But anyways, just wanted to drop this on you. What do you think? Give me some comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this. Knowledge is power. And as Yeshua said, or as the scripture says, his people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. What are you going to do about it? KnowledgeWell.